years ago. He's now desperate because he was in the low run for Fine Gael. He's cut his ties completely with the Labour Party, right? He's now running as an independent, and he's reverting back to forum again, attacking minorities. Like the script has not changed in all these years with Joe Callan. I couldn't believe it this morning when I heard the word buckle come out of that individual's mouth. Let's be honest, like, I mean...
Hang on a second, you can't airbrush a very lengthy political career. This man was a workers' activist all of his life. He was a very, very strong North Side councillor. He was a most excellent Lord Mayor in his day.
Hang on.
No, you just can't kind of...
No. This guy turned his back on the Labour Party, right, and he joined the Blue Shirts, right? And this guy, while he was a councillor, supported all the cuts, the savage cuts that were brought in under the Indi Kenny government and with the Labour Party, right? The medical cards taken from Down syndromes and cancer patients, respite care, home health powers cut, the death grant was even removed, higher prescription charges, telephone allowance cut. And this guy supported every one of them savage cuts, along with the Blue Shirts, right?
What kind of power do you think a local councillor has in any of those things, man? Are you demented? So they have no power in regard to national government.
With the greatest respect, no, Neil, I'm not demented and far from it.
No, but you can't blame a local councillor for national political decisions.
Well, they're part of the team that is in government. If you're a Fine Gael councillor, or a Labour councillor, or a Fianna Fáil, or a Sinn Féin, right?
Okay.
And your party is in power. You are also responsible for the decision. You're supposed to report back from the local constituency on the problems, and then they're supposed to be taken up at a higher level.
61% of people said things are changing too quickly. 70% of people say that we've become too politically correct, and nearly 50% of people said we're losing our identity in the face of foreign national influx.
Well, I agree with the thing about the stuff moving too fast and whatever, but just analyse this and dig into it now, Neil, right? All the changes that have come now, we'll say the same-sex marriage, which I supported, right? The abortion, the whole lot. They're taking the religion out of the schools, teaching very explicit sexual curriculum now to very young, impressionable kids. It shouldn't be. That all has come from within. The Muslims or the people that came into this country are not pushing this agenda. This is coming from within the government, from Fine Gael, backed up by that clown Micheál Martin, Bill and Van Lock. It's pushing from within.
But why do you think there's an issue with maybe a Christmas crib? Why do you think there's an issue with the crucifix? Why do you think there's an issue with teachers wearing a cross around their neck? It's because there are people who aren't Christian have an issue with that. And all he's saying is that we are bending and changing our rules to facilitate them.
All the changes, as I said, that have been pushed, it started with the Labour Party under Rory Quinn. He wanted to take the religion out of the schools and diversify the schools. If they had their way, the Labour Party, they'd have no religion taught in our schools at all, right? It has now been implemented as well now by the Blue Shirt Party, which Joe Callan couldn't get a nomination for, right? But I mean, as I said, getting back to the point of more, I cannot believe all these years later that this guy has the same script and you're having the same conversation. It's outrageous, it's racist, and it shouldn't be tolerated.
Joe?
Neil, could I just say to that windbag there, who's been under every radio for the last 10 years, I didn't interrupt you.
Just be careful.
One sentence.
The language you're using and the name calling, right?
You're some beaut to use that phrase. You're a fair man to throw muck yourself. So I make a challenge to you now, John. There's 5 days yet to hand in nominations. I'm standing on my own right, good, bad, or different, win or lose, and I'm not afraid to. Let you put your big mouth.
Hang on a second, John. Be quiet a second. Let the man speak.
And if you can't afford the €100, guess what? I give you the €100. So stand for election in South Central. Let's see how many people support you and your.
Well, I tell you something. If I did, I'd wipe the floor with the likes of you.
Let's do it.
Would you get elected?
Let's stand. Come over to my constituency and stand. Can I take it to a stand? Will you stand?
I've been asked for years to join the political party.
No, he didn't ask you to join a political party. He said you have 5 days. He'll pay the €100. Will you register as a candidate?
He threw that out before as well.
No, I didn't. I'm saying it now.
I've no
answer yes or no.
For the simple
yes or no.
For the simple reason, Niall. For the simple
reason. He said no.
Local
politics. He's a windbag.
Local politics, that means nothing. You can see what's happening at the moment. The convention centre is not being delivered. The state of the hospitals, those 70 people on trolleys in one day.
But all politics are local, aren't they?
But what are the 31 councillors that are below at the moment? What are they delivering for this?
But hang on a second. Let's be very clear about this. He's standing for a local election. He has a platform. It's varied. He happens to think that we're changing too fast.
His platform is racist.
And you're not standing at all, and you're very passionate about various things. So why don't you stand?
For the simple reason, I keep out of politics as regards joining parties, because that allows me to comment, as you know.
I know that. So you prefer to be a hurler on... No, you just prefer to be a hurler on the ditch.
I'm not a hurler on the ditch now, because as you know, I was part of Valley Hand Says No, who kicked off the whole campaign against the war. They stopped the bill coming in. No, they didn't actually. You got that wrong again.
Yes, they did.
But we started that, right?
How do you know they threw him out?
Everybody knows they threw him out. He was an embarrassment to them.
Will we say, you're saying I was thrown out, Sergio. What was the reason?
Because you were an embarrassment. You were all over the shop, up and down. You were issuing stupid statements, not conforming to anything. You were a maverick. Sure, you were always a maverick.
No, you're the fellow that was that when we were at
put your money where your mouth is. You called for election next week.
You called us loud mouths and bladderers in the water campaign, and I went outside your house, and I was on Neil.
Sure, that's all you're good for. Outside people's houses. Only you like to fix your own.
All right.
Like the coward that you are, you called the guards. The coward that you are, you called the guards.
And for election, win bag.
One vote, even out in Blarney, because you're a racist. That's all you are.
One's a racist and the other's a windbag. All right, appreciate that. I'm going to hold it there for now. Maybe we'll come back after the break. Hold on there, Joe Callan. Text 0868 104 106.
This is the Neil Prendeville Show. Tweet the show at NeilRedFM. 104 to 106 Red FM.
Joe Callahan will get elected to the Dáil if he runs on that ticket. The comments Joe has made are incredibly true. We have an increasing number of foreign nationals coming in here because of the welfare benefits that they can get here. If you look at Spain, you only get a limited amount. Social welfare for 6 months. Another one here. I agree with Joe. When they are in our country, they should do as we do. If we visit their country, we have to follow their rules. I don't agree with these women walking around in their burqas, showboating their religion. That's interesting. So far, most of the texts that I see coming in are very much in support of what you're saying, Joe. Do you take an amount of consolation from that?
I do, yeah. And it just proves the underlying feeling of people. And they want somebody or some organisation to express it. Listen, I'm not trying to aggravate or inflame anything.
Well, Dr. Fargal Radwan, who has the Cork Islamic Information Centre on Shandon Street, says that this kind of politician, all you're doing is creating hate against Islam. He also asked the question of you, how many people has he seen wearing a burqa in Cork? Can you count them?
Yeah, he's missing the point.
No, it's a question. I mean, are you bumping into them all of the time because they can't see where they're going, or what?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I accept.
Have you seen any?
Yes, I have, Neil, and so have you. But that's not the point. The point I'm making, again, I have to keep repeating this, is that you talk about 2 or 3 now in that situation. In 10 years' time, you'll be talking about 2,000 or 3,000. But that's irrelevant. The point I'm making is that we are entitled as an Irish nation to say certain things, the same as every country in the world. And you've just read out there, when we go elsewhere, we accept the rules, regulations. For instance, in most North African countries, you won't go to the public in your bikini, etc., in that particular regard.
Yeah.
And we accept that. But so here, if we shouldn't be afraid or apologising for laying down very simple.
Yeah, but maybe you should be spending your time. Look, we had 2 tragic deaths on Leeside in the space of as nearly as many days, 3 or 4 days over the weekend. Another one yesterday, a 30-something-year-old man who lost his life in the streets of Cork, and back end of the week last week, another homeless person, clearly problems with addictions. Like, they're the things you should be talking about. Trying to find not refugee centres, but some places where people can go and have a bed to lie in at night, so they're not on our streets. These are the important things, like. I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more, Neil. But everything is interrelated. If you understand what I'm saying. Earlier on, I made a point to you
that whether you like it or not, because of the influx at this point in time and the build-up of the waiting lists, that maybe the two people that unfortunately passed away might have been housed earlier. They should be housed, and I agree there should be a housing crisis, and there has to be more concentration from the government and a speed up of the process. That's really what's tricky. It takes too long within City Hall, and it takes too long outside City Hall to start building houses. But I again go back to the essential, that the Irish citizen has to be Ireland's priority.
Irish first, you're saying. Colin, good morning.